Hello everyone, 390 Wagon Master here. Today in this video we're going to take a look at the all-new President Harrison FCC AM/FM mobile CB radio. The President Harrison FCC is a full-featured CB radio in a small footprint. So let's get started. On the front panel we have a 6-pin mic jack, we have volume squelch, we have a nice screen here, we have channel readout, relative output meter, signal in or incoming signal meter as well, frequency counter, and our channel readout. Over here we have Vox, our function button, ANL noise blanker, emergency, AM/FM. The AM/FM button toggles us between AM and FM. Our emergency button toggles us between our emergency channels, which would be currently 9 and 19. Push it again, we revert back to the channel we were on. We have ANL noise blanker. Those work independently or together. So we can go ANL noise blanker together, no ANL noise blanker at all, ANL only, noise blanker only, or back to both. By the way, they're very effective in here. And as a side note, I live in a very, very loud, noisy environment, electrically wise. And this radio filters out pretty much all of my incoming noise and interference. So I'm very impressed with that. All right. Our function control, this will toggle us in our menus. I'll show you that in a second. And because this has Vox, this has voice operated relay. This radio also has talkback in it. There's a lot of features, and I'll leave a link to this probably on presidentelectronics.us. I'll leave a link to that website. I might even leave an Amazon link or two, or a Walcott radio link in there, so you can kind of bone up on some of the other features. I just don't want to take very long in this video. All right, we have our rotary control here for our channel selector, and it has a good feel to it. Definitely does not feel cheap or cheesy. We have our USB output port here. This is for charging cell phones and other devices. By the way, this has a very hot 2.1 amp output. This will charge your phone up in a hurry. No problem with that at all. All right, it also works on 12 to 24 volts. Let's take a look at the back of the rig. Okay, on the back of the radio, we have a heatsink for the final output transistor. Have our SO239 connector here for our coax. This is a micro mini input jack here for Vox microphone. We have a PA speaker, external speaker. These are 3.5 millimeter mono output jacks. And then of course we have our power wire coming into the rig. It is hardwired into the rig, so it can't come unplugged. And it comes with about 2.5, maybe 3 feet of wire, and that wire is fused. This also comes with probably one of my favorite stock mics of all time. I really like these President Electret stock mics. These are very durable. They have a great sound to them. I like the cord. It's a nice flexible cord. And of course, I really like the Uniden President 6-pin mic jack. All right, we got an inside shot here of the radio. All surface mount technology. Pretty modern. Pretty nice, pretty nice. One thing you'll notice in here, if you've been around CB radios for a while, there's nothing to turn in here. There's no little magical pots or anything like that to turn to boost your modulation or your power or anything like that. Any of those adjustments have to be done through the front. There are special servicing codes, or there's a special service menu with certain coding that you need to have to do those functions, and they'll only let you go so far. So you can't really make this a crusty radio that tends to bleed over and or actually mess up your receive, because a lot of those truck stop tunes are not good, guys. Not good at all. All right, well, that was a quick look at the Harrison FCC. I mentioned earlier in the video that I was going to show you how some of these menu functions work. So let's maybe change the color and turn the key beep on. And the key beep will basically beep every time we hit one of these function buttons. It basically confirms whatever we've pushed. I find it somewhat annoying, and it comes that way from the factory. I have turned all that off. However, I want to show you how to turn all that stuff back on and get into these menus, or into this menu, the main menu, I should say. All right, so this is our function button, so we're going to hit this one time. When we hit that, we're going to see the little F up there in the corner. We're going to push the F again and hold it. That puts us into our menu. And we have key beep off right now, so I'm going to turn it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the store button. It timed out on me. Let's get into that mode again. So here we go. We're going to push it once. We're going to push it again, hold it. Now we're into our options. We're going to hit the store or emergency button. We're going to turn this key beep on. I'm going to confirm that by hitting this again. All right. Now every time, let's see, let's get it out of here. Now every time we touch one of these buttons, it's going to give me a confirmation beep. There's our emergency channel 19. Go back to the channel we were on. Here's mode AM/FM. Okay. Now I want to turn that off. So let's go back into our menu. We're going to momentarily hit F. We've got our light up there. We're going to long press F. Then we're going to go to emergency or store. We're going to hit that again. We're going to toggle that off with the channel selector. We're going to confirm it. All right. Let's look around for something else to change. How about the Roger beep? It has a few Roger beeps in it. Let's hear those. So we're going to turn that. Oh, I made a mistake. That's okay. We can fix that. So we're going to momentarily hit F again. We're going to push and hold it. We're back into our menu. We got Roger beep. We want to get into that. So we're going to hit emergency. We're going to do our Roger beeps. Here's Roger beep number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, and off. We're going to confirm that we want those off. Now those Roger beeps, what those do is those make that little tone or that little noise every time you unkey the microphone. That's telling whoever you're talking to that you just unkeyed. All right, we have tone control in this. And tone control is a really cool feature. I'm kind of deaf, and I like my tones high. And this tone control, let me see, how could I say this? Think of this as a tone control on a home stereo or a car stereo, or maybe a treble control on a home or car stereo. All right, we have like 12 o'clock position straight up. That's like what we call flat, right? It's not too low, not too high. And then we have like clockwise, we have like the tone or the treble up. Counterclockwise, we have it down, right? Well, this is kind of the same thing. I'm going to go back in here into the function again. It timed out. We have tone. We want to get into that. When we see it flashing, we know we're into that submenu. And we have all the way down to 0. Now this would be like flat. This would be like your tone control on your stereo at like straight up 12 o'clock. Okay, now we're going to go low like this because some people just can't take high frequencies. The high frequencies just doesn't match their hearing. Myself, I like my high frequencies. I'm kind of deaf down here, all right? So I kind of need this. I love this. So I'm going to set this like this. Now I've got my tone set to high. I really like that. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's change our colors. Where are we here? We got green going on right now. Let's find a color that doesn't wash out on the camera so much. Here's orange. We'll go with orange. We'll set orange. Now we're in orange. Let's go to our dimmer and bring that up, because that's not orange enough for this camera. There we go. Any different colors mess with the camera. So anyway, and we can go off. So if you're driving at night, you don't want that thing staring at you or glaring at you. There you go. We have high of 9. Just crazy. All right. Orange is not my favorite color. So let's get out of here. Let's go to, actually, I'll show you my favorite one in here. And I don't know how it shows up on the camera. I like the green. Mama likes purple. Now they say this is yellow. This is like a light green to me. I like this one. Okay. That one's pretty good. I can read that pretty good. And we have our master reset, or basically it reverts back to factory settings. So if you go through here and you get all messed up or confused, you don't like your settings, you're kind of worried about what's going on, you can just go back to ALL or AL and hit that with your emergency and just reset everything back to normal. Okay, have our SWR meter so we can check our SWRs. Let's do that here. It says I have an SWR, what is that, of 3? Seriously. You know why? Because I don't have an antenna plugged in. All right, let's plug an antenna in and go back to those SWRs again. Okay, real quick. This has a built-in electronic SWR meter. And when the meter goes beep, beep, beep like that, okay? Sorry about the sound effects. That means your SWR is high or low, or it's wrong, okay? It's just too high. As you zero in on the proper SWR, we're all aiming for about a 1 to 2 to 1 to 4 SWR, the beeps will get faster, and then when they go to a solid tone, that means you're within range 1 to 1, 1 to 4. You're in the safe zone. So let's do this. Let's hear what this sounds like. Let's go back to function. Push it again, hold. All right, we're in SWR mode right now. Let's hit emergency. Okay, you hear how that's going fast? We're pretty close to a good SWR. I'm going to dial this out a little bit more. Let's see here. Let's go to a worse SWR. No, I wanted to go the other way. Let's see here. Okay, that's a bad SWR. When you hear it like that, see, that's a 3 to 1. We want a better one. We want to get between 1.1 and 1.4. Okay, now you see how it's gone faster because we're getting a better SWR. Let's tweak it just a little bit. It's slowing down, so I'm going the wrong way. We need to get it to a solid tone. There we go. We have a 1 to 1 SWR. Kind of a cool feature. Kind of interesting. This enables it. So what you would do with something like this is you would install the radio, install your antenna, and then go into the SWR check mode, right? Turn up the volume so you can hear it outside of your car, and then use your little Allen screw or your little knob thingy and get it so it makes this sound. So you get a little bit of a visual readout here, but you get an audible readout when you're outside the vehicle. So I like that a lot. I think that's great. All right, so there we go. We got a high SWR. And there's a 1 to 1 or a 1, well, actually a 1.0 SWR. That worked out really good. All right, so that's kind of how that feature works. Let's get out of there. Let's do something else real quick. It's shipped with the dynamic, it's shipped with a Electret microphone. I'm using an aftermarket mic, so I have it set on dynamic, but let's put it back to Electret. All right, hit that. And EL is Electret. Hit that for confirmation. And let's hit that to just get out of the menus and be done with it.
Lows in the mid-20s. South winds 20 to 30 miles.
So we have our weather channels.
Miles per hour decrease.
There we go. And that has pretty good audio for what it is.
With a 50% chance of snow.
All right, guys. Well, anyway, there's a quick overview on the Harrison FCC. If you guys would like to see anything a little bit more in depth, please leave questions or comments, or leave those comments down below, I should say. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. I'd really appreciate it. And just before we go here, I want to tell you, I've been using this for a couple days on my base station here, and I've been talking all over the country on this thing. All over the country. I'm using an aftermarket power microphone on here. I got this thing sounding pretty good. Pretty good. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos with this radio. We're going to be doing some skip videos with this. All right, cheers.